All right, everybody. Good morning. My name is Bill Mosley, and I'll be your instructor. Hopefully, you're in the right class. This is not a full class, so there should be plenty of available computing space. The next few minutes, would any of you mind, if you're logged in, just checking to see if a program called PyCharm is installed on the computer? Is it there? That's great. You're already one step ahead of the Panorama campus class, because that classroom does not have PyCharm installed yet. So that's a good thing. Before I jump in and forget to mention this, you are welcome to use your own computers in class. You can bring them in here. In fact, if you've got a laptop, I would recommend it, because then your work is all traveling with you. On these computers, when you do the work, you've got to save it somewhere special, because every time these computers reboot, they get wiped back to their original state. So it's a little bit less convenient to use these computers, and a little bit more convenient and probably useful for learning if you bring your own laptop. Of course, not everybody has access to a laptop, but if you do, Mac, Windows, or Linux would all work for this class. Chromebooks will not, unfortunately, work. Chromebook is probably slightly less useful than your iPhone in terms of computing power. So they're basically word processing machines made for using Google Docs. But anyway, feel free to use your own laptops here. This class, Computer Science B10, just to be very, very clear about what this class is and is not a requirement for the computer science degree program at Bakersfield College. Okay, so if you're wanting to pursue computer science, this is not part of the program. That sequence of classes is B11, B12, B13, B14, plus some calculus. Okay, so that's kind of the degree program for computer science. However, if you're really new to coding and you want to consider maybe doing computer science, this is a good class to sort of start with, because I'm going to take you from like 0 to, I don't know, pretty good. Yes?
If I recall, isn't B10 a prerequisite for B11?
No. B11 is considered entry level. This is not a prerequisite for that class. So, yeah, you don't have to take this class. Now, what I've found is that, again, students who are really new to programming benefit from taking this class first, because while B11 also says that it's an entry-level class, it does, I think, make some assumptions about the kind of people that want to major in computer science, namely that people who want to major in computer science have been using computers and doing coding on their own. And a lot of times that's just not true. So this is a good class to just sort of get your feet wet. If you're programming curious, this is a good class for you if you want to see if programming is something that you actually like to do. For some of us, programming is a lot of fun. For other people, it's not as fun, and that's okay. But this is a good class to help you figure that out. This class is also part of a couple of certificate programs, data science and web development, but not, unfortunately, part of the computer science degree program. So this class, I am teaching 2 face-to-face sections. One is Monday, Wednesday in the afternoon at the Panorama campus, also known as the main campus. And I mentioned that in addition to this class, because if you happen to have classes on the main campus, or you're up that way, or you can't, maybe you have a doctor's appointment on a Tuesday morning and you want to come to the Monday afternoon class to catch that lecture in person, that's fine too. Now, you probably notice I set up some cameras and my microphone here. I do record all of my lectures, and I will put each lecture online. I usually do Monday and Tuesday are usually the same lecture. Wednesday and Thursday are usually the same lecture. So I usually wait until after I do the Tuesday or Thursday lecture, and then I kind of pick the best one out of the two, and then I chop it up and put it online on YouTube. So that's always there. And if you want to work ahead, I always catalog the previous semester's lectures, so you can get the same lectures from last spring if you want to kind of get ahead of the game or whatever as well. Anyway, so those are all options for you. I'm totally fine with you attending either location if it's convenient for you. Now that location right now is a little crowded in the room, I will admit, but that's typical for the beginning of the semester. As the semester goes on, I anticipate that there will be some seats available for folks. But if you come, just sort of be aware of that. Um, and then, of course, I'm teaching some sections online. Another side note related to this is that if you log into Canvas and you're paying close attention, you'll notice that the Canvas shell has a different CRN than the one you registered for. And the reason for that is that I combine all of my Python classes into a single Canvas shell. And so it only reflects the CRN of the class that is sort of the primary class in that shell. But you are in the right place if you're going into Canvas. You're fine.